This morning, I woke up with a simple craving, and that is mushrooms with eggs for breakfast. I drove to the nearby forest to see what I could find. It always feels so nice to start the day with a slow walk in the fresh morning air, surrounded by peace and quiet, and of course, pick a few mushrooms along the way. I really love walking in the forest. There's something so calming about it. Sometimes I come across little spots that look like they are taken straight from a fairy tale. Being there helps me relax completely and just enjoy the moment and enjoy in slow morning awakening. I usually don't pick a huge amount of mushrooms, nor do I cover a lot of ground. I like to gather just enough for a meal or two, and if I can, I put a little away in the freezer for winter. I've been mushroom picking with my family since I was a child, so there are quite a few mushrooms I recognize well. But of course, there are still many I don't know, or at least I'm not completely sure about. Those I prefer to leave behind, unless I'm with someone experienced who can tell me exactly what they are. I've always loved meal with mushrooms, but my partner doesn't care for them. So I truly meant it when I said I don't need many of them, since I'm the only one eating them. So whenever I make something with mushrooms for myself, I make sure to prepare something different for him. One of my favorite breakfasts, perhaps because it doesn't appear on the menu very often, is mushrooms with eggs. I make it by gently sauteing onions in olive oil, then adding the mushrooms. Depending on the type of mushrooms and even the weather they grow in, they sometimes release quite a bit of liquid while cooking. I simply let the water evaporate, give them a little more time to brown, and gently stir in the eggs. Moments like this, when I sit down to enjoy such a simple but flavorful breakfast, are ones I truly treasure and I enjoy in every bite. Today feels like one of those slow, lazy days. Outside the sky is heavy and grey, carrying that autumn mood that makes you want to curl up under a blanket with a warm cup of tea and let the world move on without you just for a while. And since I don't have any particular plans for the day, I decided not to resist this gentle laziness. I'm having breakfast in the living room, right in front of TV, catching up on a few new videos from my favorite YouTube channels. And then I'll simply see where the day takes me. Sometimes the most nourishing thing we can do is give ourselves permission to do nothing at all. Later that day, the sun decided to peek through the clouds for just a moment, and it felt like the perfect little encouragement to finally start the project I had been saving for just the right mood. A few days earlier, I bought these two pumpkins at the local store. Their shape was exactly what I had been looking for, simple and just right. The color, however, wasn't quite to my taste. But that doesn't matter, because I'm planning to color them anyway. I begin with a soft, sandy white base coat. To completely hide the original color, I brushed in two layers, moving my brush in long, uninterrupted strokes from the stem all the way down. I'm planning to add leaves and branches once the base layer fully dries. For the finishing touch, I painted the stem in a gentle, light orange shade. A subtle contrast, but just enough to make them stand out softly. And with that, I decided to call it a day. Tomorrow, I'll continue with painting the leaves. A few years ago, I built this tall wooden spice rack for my balcony. But earlier this summer, I finally moved all my herbs into larger clay pots. I haven't quite decided yet. Should I have it as it is and fill it with decorative plants, or repurpose it into something else entirely? One idea I've been toying with is turning into a little bench along the balcony rail. It would be a cozy spot for the morning coffee. But since I'm still undecided what to do with it, I'm gonna plant it with seasonal plants for now and see how I feel about it later. Just a few days ago, I picked up some new plants, autumn and winter variants that will keep the balcony cheerful until spring. I chose a mix, some with vibrant playful colors to bring up gray days, and others that are evergreen classics. I think together they will balance beautifully. I've added a few blooming plants to the mix. Their burst of color brings a joyful energy to the planter, even if they won't last long. But for as long as they do, they'll make the space feel alive and connected. And when they fade, the evergreen will take over and carry me through the winter until spring arrives. This particular corner of the balcony is special because it's the view I wake up to from my bed. It's lovely to open my eyes and be greeted by lovely greenery. Often, especially on chilly mornings, when I stay wrapped up in blanket, I enjoy my first coffee in bed. Those quiet moments, chatting with my partner while looking out the window, are some of my favorites. The view stretches out to the mountains and always changing with seasons. And closer in, I make sure the balcony itself is well kept. The plants, furniture, and little details all work together so that the outside feels like a natural extension of our home. I don't like to go overboard with plants though. I've learned from past years that too many flowers and pots quickly become overwhelming for me. So over time, I've scaled back just enough to keep things beautiful but easy to care for. I truly love flowers and greenery. They add so much warmth and life to a home, but I keep a balance that feels comfortable. I cherish this kind of moments, quiet and deeply calming. They bring balance to my often chaotic days. Sometimes, before getting ready for bed, I'll sit right here on the doorstep of the balcony with a cup of tea in my hand or simply without anything at all, just sitting and enjoying in stillness. I let the moment sink in. Yesterday, I painted 2 layers of base coat, and today I'll start adding the leaves. With an olive green color pencil, I will lightly draw the branches that will have colorful leaves on them. I will lightly mark the branches first, and then I'll go over them again, pressing a little harder with the color pencil. I don't have a strict plan for how the branches and leaves will be, and I didn't make any sketches to follow. I'll just improvise as I go, letting the shape of the branches unfold naturally, depending on the space I'll have. It feels more playful that way. I decided on these colors for leaves. I already used deep turquoise color on the canvas that is on the wall right above the sofa, and I added blue, orange and green. I'm mixing the paint with water, so the shades will turn out lighter, almost watercolor-like. I'm truly looking forward to the cooler days ahead. I love the crisp freshness of the early morning on my way to work and the gentle shift in atmosphere that autumn always brings. The colors of nature turn into warm, earthy tones, burnt orange and soft browns. I adore layering up in cozy clothes and feeling the comfort they bring. As the season slows down, so does the world around me. Tourists gradually leave, and the landscape grows quiet. I love the buzz and chaos of summer, but by the time it ends, I'm always ready to welcome the calm of autumn. And so, with every little detail, the plants and flowers, home decoration, and the cool air that greets me each morning, this season waves itself into my home and into my days. Autumn has a way of reminding me to slow down, to savor the small rituals, and to find beauty in transitions. It's a season of balance between light and dark, chaos and stillness, work and rest. And in that balance, I always rediscover how much joy can be found in the simplest of moments: a cup of tea, a soft blanket, a flickering candle, and the gentle rhythm of autumn unfolding outside my window. Have a lovely day and see you in my next one. Bye!